Today is about building vibe coding with one of the tools that's called Lovable. I think probably many of you have already heard about Lovable before, and you might have tried it. Um, but I think the point for today's session is that we're not only going to use Lovable, but we also want to build two main functionalities. So the two main functionalities is one is user management, the other one is payment. The reason for those two is because for user management, like any application you are building, if you want to open it up to other people to use, you need to manage the users. Like the people need to log in and use create accounts and use your application. So that's one very important and very universal feature we need. And the other one is taking payment. So if you're building a app or anything, you want to test it with the market. And the best way to test the market is to see if people are willing to pay for it. So, and if your MVP can handle payment, and that will provide you with a very good tool to test your market. And today's example I'm going to use is a site that I built. Is a buy me a coffee site. So this one I've built just over the weekend in about 6 hours. So it's very simple website. The main functionality is two things I just talked about. It itself is a landing page, and then it does two things. One is user management. So there's a little sign in here. So you can create an account and you can sign in. And then the other thing is you can make payment. So if I click here, buy me a coffee, and it will take you to a Stripe website. This is a Stripe payment page, and you can input in your like card information and stuff like that, and then you can actually pay, and it works end to end. Yes, and the other thing is there's also another option for recurring payment. So you can either pay monthly or weekly. So the reason I show this is because imagine you are building your MVP or your idea. You can provide two types of payments. You can either do like one-off payment. So then this will be your product, your service, and people can buy that for one time, or you can provide like a service that's like subscription-based service, and people can come here and say, oh, I want to, subscribe monthly and I will pay this much. And they can actually make the payment from here. You don't have to build the same buy me a coffee sites as I did. You can, feel free to incorporate your idea, like whatever product or services you are building. You can just vibe code that into the page, and then you can create some similar experience like this. Before I jump in, I made a blog post about this. This includes all the steps of how I did this. And before I jump into the blog, I just want to show you one thing here. So in the forum, this actually made me really very happy. So Nashta said he actually jumped in. So after he saw my post, he actually jumped in and spent a few hours with Lovable and built an app himself. And so this is the app he built, which looks great. And he actually used a similar user login method as I did. So yeah, so there's actually someone already benefit from this. I'm just gonna quickly go through what I did with my site. So with this, you need three things. You need Lovable, Superbase, and Stripe is optional. Lovable is the kind of the main engine we're gonna be building on, and already like if you just talk to it in plain like English, it can already build you something that looks pretty nice. If you need to have users, you need to manage users, then Superbase is what you need. And also Stripe only comes in if you want to take payments. So you can just use Lovable without anything else, and it can build you if you just need, for example, Jane, you just talk about a landing page. You don't actually need the other two. You only need Lovable. And I'm gonna jump into the steps. So quickly go through this. So step one is you need to go sign up for Lovable, and there's a link. I have a referral link that you can get some extra credits. And then if you need to manage users, you need to sign up to Superbase. And also, if you want to take payments, sign up Stripe. And there is a bit of like ID verification process, and you do need to have like a bank account and stuff like that before they can actually send you the money. But if you've done all three of that, then you're ready to start. But before jumping into Lovable, there is one pretty important thing I think you need to do is what we call like prompt optimization. In this case, I use ChatGPT to help me structure my prompt. You could use any chat tool of you like. Um, but basically, I'm just saying I want to build a something using Lovable, and can you create knowledge base, generate prompts, and including database schema and some design guidelines. So the reason I do this is because if you have like a structured prompt, it will make it much easier for Lovable to understand and build the application to your liking. Um, and they actually have a best practice page where it talks about like how you need to use like a notifier and prompt, how do you need to prompt it, and stuff like that. And what you can do is you can actually just chuck this whole website into ChatGPT, and then you can say, "Hey, I want to build X. Can you please help me write my prompt based on these best practices?" And ChatGPT will help you do that. There is another option. If you don't want to do text-based, you could also, on Lovable, you could also attach an image, or import your Figma design. So if you have a wireframe, you can import that. Or if you just want to, like if you have, for example, you have a website already, and then you just want to add a bit of actual functionalities to it, you can use like a screenshot, and you can say, here's the site, here's a screenshot. Can you build something that's similar or in the same theme? So one example I can show you is this one. So I have this blog page, right? I have this blog page, and this has like very simple design. It's like and it's like it has a color scheme of light blue and white. And I take a screenshot of this, and I said, can you build like I took a screenshot and I said, can you build some actual other functionalities onto based on this site? And it actually went and did something similar. So it gave me like something like this, which is looks very similar to my site, and and you even got like pricing and stuff like that. But what I'm saying here is, if you want consistent design and just to expand your existing website, you can use the screenshot function to do that. Right. So once you got the prompt or you got some screenshots, the step two is there's a thing called knowledge base. You can chuck in the whatever ChatGPT generated into Lovable's knowledge base. So what knowledge base does is it acts as like a principle or a guideline for Lovable to follow as it builds your website. Because the tool like this, they once the context window gets too large, they will forget something over time. So if you have a knowledge base there, like it can always reference the knowledge base and stick to it. So um, it just helps the tool to conform to your guidelines. All right, and then once you've done that, and you tell Lovable, I want a landing page, I want some buttons, I want this and that. At this stage, it should give you a fairly good looking site already, but it might not be fully functional. So then step three is where it gets a bit more complicated. Um, so if you want to actually make your site actually functional, you need to have a backend. So the backend, in this case, is Supabase. So with Supabase, it also has a very, very nice integration. Let me see if I have an example here. So you can just click connect Supabase, and it will do the connection. It will ask you to sign into your account and stuff like that, but it will handle all the integration for you. So in essence, you don't actually need to worry too much about what you're gonna do in the database, because Lovable is gonna generate all the database code for you, and it will run the database as well. And the other thing is, if you do want to look into Supabase, uh, the other thing is Lovable will generate edge functions. So the edge function is you can think of this as your backend, but it's like a function. It's like a cloud function. If you it's more like a event-based trigger function. So you can take a look at the code here. By the way, all this code is written by Lovable. I did not write a single line of code, and you don't actually need to write any code because you can just let the Lovable handle all this, and it will generate like all those edge functions for you, and they together they work as your backend. So that's Supabase. And if you want to do Stripe integrations, you can. All you need to do is you need to sign up to Stripe, and you need to obtain a key after you signed up. And you always want to start with a testing key. So there's a testing environment you can start with. And then once you've done that, you can tell Lovable to do like the stripe thing. You can and Lovable will handle all the integration code and stuff like that for you. So yeah, so that's pretty straightforward as well. And then the last step is to deploy your application. So once you have something here, and then you just click the publish button, and then it will publish your website to some domain, and you can use your custom domain as well if you have one. So yeah, so that's pretty much all you need to do. Is quite simple. Like as I mentioned here, like previously, if you even if you travel back 12 months ago, this is not possible without knowing how to code or hiring like developers to do those for you. But today, you can just do all that without any actual developers and without needing to write any code. And most of the thing are free to sign up, and the whole thing took me like 6 hours. But it could be quicker if you know how to do it. So I might just pause here and see if there's any questions. Yeah, I saw people raise the hand. Meet.
Hi. Hey, great demo. Thanks for that first. A couple of questions from my side. So, how about, let's say, some of the advanced functionality into, perhaps it's advanced for me, but let's say you want to integrate it with Google Maps, maybe, connected with ChatGPT or something, all those kind of things. So that's my first question. Second thing is, what's missing? What's some you haven't told us yet? Like maybe it's testing and maintenance, security, something like that. So those are my two questions. Thanks.
Yeah. If you want to do ChatGPT integration, you can. You just say that in the prompt. You just say, I want to integrate ChatGPT and do it for me. And Lovable could do some simple integrations. All you need is API key. And by the way, don't like yeah security practices don't just paste API key into the chat. You want to use like a thing called environment variables. But like for simple integrations, you can get away with just Lovables. But if you want to do anything more complicated with ChatGPT, you probably need to develop your backend. Because again, in this case, we are using like a few of these edge functions as the backend. So it's pretty much like for example, create payments is like when the user click the payment button,
Yep.
it will then trigger this function, and it will run the code, and it will do like the payment stuff. But if you want to do like something like more complicated, like the user click a button, open the chat, it chats with the chatbot, and it does something
Yep.
else. That's like very complicated, and then in that case, you will need to to have a backend that handles all this logic.
Okay. So then
But
that's a
that
separate tool altogether, like super basis, but more simplistic. That's basically what I'm hearing from you.
Yes, pretty much. Uh, but one of the thing you can do is you can sync your project to GitHub.
Hmm.
So anything you create on Lovable, you can sync it to GitHub,
Hmm.
and then once you have that in GitHub, you could use because you got the code. you could use other tools like Cloud Code or Gemini CLI
Hmm.
to further develop the code.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And finally, sorry, I'm talking about time here. But let's say you wanted this navigation functionality. Now, as in, I've tested some of this and I've really struggled. So let's say when you click on the tech or the live, then it goes into a different page altogether. Like basically, you have something more than a landing page. Is that something that Lovable does, or it struggles with? Like I've tested it before, and it, at least for me, it didn't quite work, and it threw up a lot of errors.
Okay. I would say, yeah, that kind of works for me. Like if you're talking about like a simple like multi-page applications, so
Hmm.
there's another one I built. It's kind of like a marketing thing. Um, but if I log in here, demo. So yeah, too simple. So yeah, so this is like a multi-page thing that you can click around and you can actually go into each of the thing and you can like click through.
Yeah,
um it's quite it's quite involved, I
it's
would
quite
say.
detailed actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and you were able to
But
do this on Lovable.
yeah, yeah, so all of this is
Okay.
created by Lovable. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thanks.
What's the other thing? Oh, did you say something I didn't tell you? Yes. uh, so security I didn't tell you. Yes. It's security is not easy. Because I also mentioned this in my blog. So if you look at the time I spent, so UI design, development, 60 minutes, planning 10 minutes, testing 30 minutes, and security is 300 minutes. So I actually spend most of my time in security because the the code that AI generates are usually not that secure. It's made like it's made for demo or MVP,
Okay.
but it's not so great for production use. So if you do want to productionize your app, or if you do want to scale it to maybe hundreds or thousands of users, um, it's best to have a professional to help you do that.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Like
but
let's say
for yeah,
10
but for like
users or something like that, proof of concept, just to see if someone would pay or something. It's good enough, you would say.
yeah, I think it will be good enough if if you just want to someone to see if someone was willing to pay for it, or you can
Right.
even create a fake payment page and just to see if someone would click on it.
Yeah.
There is a question in the chat about how many credits did you use up?
So for this one, I used I think it's about 50 credits, uh, and most of those are spent in debugging and and again like security stuff.
Is that that does that convert into a dollar amount as well?
No, so if you so as they have like different tiers of the on the plan. So if you like on the like $20 plan, I think the minimum one it gives you 100 credits.
I don't see any more questions on the chat. Roblin, is there a question answered or
Yes, thank you.
okay? Yeah,
Cool.
I think we can get started. Get some hands on.
Cool. Yeah. So now we're gonna go on some hands-on activities. So it's now your turn. So you can for the next we'll give it 15 minutes. You can go and build your own. I have posted the guides in the Zoom chat, so you can follow step by step. But Or like if you don't want to do this, you can also feel free to work on your MVP as well. But I would recommend you like go sign up Lovable and have a try and see what you can build.